Dial P for Possession. Written by RoseBlack222. I'll never forget the time my friend Todd's phone became possessed by a demon. It was a couple years ago, back when I was in college to become a chef. My friend and I were cleaning up after the rest of our fraternity had thrown a pretty wild party. Not exactly being the party types ourselves, Tom and I decided to do other things while everyone else was busy partying. I'd go on long walks while Todd went elsewhere to study. This had the drawback of us having to clean up when we got back. It was a pain because we were not in the least bit responsible for the messes that got made. However, seeing as how everyone would be too drunk to do it, the responsibility fell on us. If we didn't, the dean would punish all of us. I arrived back at the dorm at the same time Todd did. "Look how many cars there are. This'll take forever," Todd said. "At least the mailbox is still standing. Come on." We passed empty beer bottles and cans that had been tossed onto the lawn. "Getting really sick of this shit," Todd grumbled. "Oh, relax. You know how school can get. They need to have fun every once in a while." "I know, but why do we always have to be the ones to—" "Whatever. It's not like we can expect them to do it. Let's just get this over with." The inside looked worse than the outside. A thick layer of trash coated the floor like a rug. We trudged our way through it to the kitchen to grab some trash bags. I agreed to do the inside while Todd handled the outside. With 4 large trash bags on each of us, we got to work. I had to work around people who were passed out drunk. It took over 4 hours to clean up, mainly because there were other messes in addition to the trash. It was a good thing we bought a lot of carpet cleaner and stain remover. By the time we finished, everyone was starting to stir. From the looks on their faces, it was apparent that hangovers were hitting them pretty hard. They all made their way out, including our roommates. It was probably to get away from the chemical smell, which was strong. I gathered the now full trash bags, then headed out to dispose of them. Once that was taken care of, we opened the windows to get rid of the scent. Now it was just us alone at 3 a.m. I opened a much-needed bottle of water while Todd opened a beer. I'm not a drinker, and Todd knows how to moderate himself, unlike our roommates. As he drank, something seemed to catch his eye, and he went over to check it out. "Find something?" I called out to him. "Yeah, this." He held up a thick leather-bound book. "Where did you find that?" "It was sticking out from between the couches. This thing looks huge. Who do you think it belongs to?" "Beats me. Maybe there's a name in here." He opened the book's front cover and then the back. After that, he flipped through the first couple of pages. "I don't see any names in here," Todd said. "What do you see in it then?" Looks like Latin and symbols. It probably belongs to one of those Wiccan people. Let's just leave it alone. Whoever it belongs to will more than likely be back for it." "Well, I'm too awake to go to sleep. Not to mention we have class in 5 hours." "We can kill time with a game," I suggested. "Maybe there's one from the book we can play," Todd replied, flipping through it. "I meant a video game." "I already found one." He turned the book over to show me. I saw a picture of a spinning bottle with symbols and words written around it. "Looks easy enough," I said. Todd finished his beer and placed the bottle on the table. I drew the symbols that were in the book around it. "So I just spin it?" Looks like it. I'm guessing I say the words as it's spinning. How do we make a game of this? How about we guess where the neck will stop? Whoever gets the closest wins?" "Alright, ready?" Todd guessed that the neck would stop at the back door, while I guessed it would stop at the living room. As the bottle spun, Todd chanted the words. I will not write down what he said for obvious reasons. Todd finished chanting as the bottle stopped. It stopped dead center between the back door and the living room, pointing to Todd's phone. "We were both wrong," I said. "Oh well, I'll just spin it. Hey, is it just me, or did it suddenly get really cold in here?" It was August then. Our state is usually warm anyway. The AC was on, but it felt like we were in a freezer. A strong gust of wind blew through the windows, further chilling the room. Then it was gone. "That was weird," Todd said. "Yeah, do you want to play again?" I asked. "I just need to grab a snack first, and then we can—" My voice trailed off. "Is something wrong?" Todd asked. Has your phone always been able to do that? I replied, pointing over to his phone. It was hovering in midair. No, not to my recollection. Should we grab it? I'm not sure. Todd's phone started drifting towards us. Then, without warning, it shot towards me. I managed to narrowly evade it.
You're faster than I thought,
a deep and gravelly voice from the phone said. Look, whoever you are, stop messing with my phone, Todd angrily said.
You shouldn't just be asking who, but also what.
A pain in the ass? I said.
Joke all you want, for you are in the presence of Nentius, the messenger demon.
A demon that possesses phones? Todd asked.
That's where the bottle ended up pointing to. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to have some fun.
Nuntius flew out of the window. We grabbed the book and then went after him. Where did he go? I asked. I don't know. Should we warn the others? Somehow I find it doubtful that they'd heed our warnings. It looks like Gary decided to hang out by the house. Let's ask him if he's seen anything. Gary was one of our roommates. He approached his car. His headlights were still on. He didn't seem to notice us, which was odd, because he was facing in our direction. We soon found out the reason for this. His throat had a gaping wound in it. His mouth hung open in an expression of horror and shock. To make it even more fucked up, the wound seemed to have been made from the inside. Todd started to freak out. I followed suit. He's dead, Todd said. You think I can't see that? Jesus Christ! What are we gonna do? We can't call the police about this. This all started because of the book. Maybe there's something in it that can help? Good idea. Only problem with it, though, neither of us can actually read Latin. Well, there has to be someone around here who can. What about Carlos? I'm pretty sure he's been taking Latin. Carlos was a friend of Gary's. We didn't hang out with him a lot, but he's pretty cool. I called him up and explained what we needed from him, leaving out the part about the possessed phone. He found it a little odd given what time it was, but agreed to it. Thankfully, he lived close by. We ran over to the house he was staying at. They knocked on the front door. Carlos opened it and invited us inside. He then asked us exactly what he needed to read. Look for something along the lines of banishing rituals, I said. Alright. It may take a bit, though, Carlos said. How long is a bit? Todd asked him impatiently. Relax, it's not like people are dying here, he replied, opening the book. Uh-huh. Carlos started reading. As he did, there was another knock on the door. I opened it to find 2 police officers standing on the porch. Can I help you? I asked them. We answered a call regarding 10 murders, 2 of which were the dean and a friend of yours. Knowing who they meant by friend, I pretended to be shocked. I told them we had passed by Gary's car, but didn't actually check on him. The officers thanked me and told us to stay inside for our safety. Explain, Carlos said. What do you mean? I replied. You two know more than you're letting on, don't you? I silently cursed his perception. All right, look, we didn't mean for this to happen. What did you do? He explained the ritual. Assuming I believe this, why the fuck would you guys do that? Carlos asked. We didn't think it would work. We were just trying to kill some time. Look, Carlos, more people will die if Nuntius isn't stopped, Todd said. Okay, fine. Demonically possessed phone. At the very least, you guys never seemed like the murder type. We heard several gunshots off in the distance. Not wanting to use up any more time, Carlos continued reading the book. From how fast his pupils were moving, he must have been reading it pretty fast. Found one. We have to get some things set up first, though. Carlos instructed us to draw some symbols on the kitchen table. Then he told us to make a white circle around them. We did this with flour, since Carlos was also taking a cooking class. Once the circle was complete, we were to call out to the demon. We did so with no results. Why isn't it working? Todd said. Wait, I read it wrong, Carlos said. It doesn't say to call out to him, but to call him. I pulled out my phone and dialed Todd's number. The call was answered. Nuntius? I asked. Quickly, Place your phone in the circle, Carlos urged. I did so. Todd's phone came crashing through one of the windows and landed beside mine. Carlos began chanting something as Anuntius cursed. The circle started to spin and the symbols started to glow. The house shook. We were lucky we were alone. An amber crack formed in the table. It split open and a hand with burnt skin and long claws shot up from it and grabbed our phones. It pulled them down into the crack. Then it closed up and the shaking stopped. Our college was closed later that day due to the dean's murder. Apparently, the cops I talked to were murdered as well. Not by Nuntius, however. There was also some crazy guy out who got the drop on them. All the murders were pinned on him since a better explanation couldn't be thought up. What we did was pretty stupid, I know, but how were we supposed to know that would happen? A lesson learned, though. Never again.